Hi, thanks for tuning in to the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast, brought to you by CR Gutters and A Advanced Septic Services. My name's Galen.
I'm Joe.
And we're coming at you from the BD Local Studios in Tacoma, Washington. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the podcast. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast, brought to you by CR Gutters and A Advanced Septic Services. My name is Galen.
I'm Joe.
And we're coming at you from the BD Local Studios in Tacoma, Washington. Thanks for tuning in. So, Joe, for our new listeners and viewers, and for our returning ones, can you tell them how our Ask Valor Masterminds podcast came to be, please?
Sure. So it first started out as a Facebook group page, trying to bring business owners together to be able to communicate with one another, share tips and secrets, and just be able to ask each other questions and get some answers.
Right.
From that being that we're in marketing, we get a lot of questions, some to do with marketing, some not to do with marketing. So we thought, what a better way than to bring on different guest speakers from all walks of life and be able to talk about different topics related to business.
Awesome. And on the day we're filming today, it is actually Veterans Day. So, Joe, thank you for your service and all the veterans out there. And also our guest is also someone that you served with in the Army. Can you give a quick intro, please?
Sure. So we have on screen Mr. Eric Zuck. He's with a company called Second Skin Audio, and we served together while in Germany, and we'll get more about him in a little bit.
Awesome. So cue image one. So we are still in a pandemic and everything, and we've been fortunate to be in a spot where we could give back to our community through our hashtag Valor Cares promotion. Mm-hmm. Joe, can you share a couple of details on that, please?
Yep. Valor Cares is a program. Basically, we're going to give away a website build every single month. We have a page on our website that people can go to. They can submit their information and apply. And then we have a committee of people that once a month we choose a winner.
Awesome. We also have something else going on, Q Image 2. So we're really happy. We're proud to educate a lot of businesses in our community through our partnership with Google. And on November 18th, we have an upcoming webinar workshop using YouTube, how to grow your business. Quick shout out, details on that for our viewers.
Absolutely. It is November 18th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have Carissa St. Laurent. She's one of Google's national trainers. No one likes to hear us speak, so we like to bring someone else on. And so she'll be talking about YouTube, how to create a YouTube channel, and then how to maximize your YouTube channel. With video being so relevant right now, it's important that businesses learn, how to create a YouTube channel and how to make it work for them.
Awesome. So we'll have the details, the link on this post as well. Again, it's free. So if you've ever wanted to ask Google, YouTube a question, now's your chance. So great opportunity we're giving to all businesses. All right. So now we come to our Q Image 3, our A Advanced Septic Pump You Up quote of the day. So Eric, you shared with us a couple of them. They were so good, we wanted to share two. So image 3 is, it is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation, by Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick. So Eric, a quick thought on that quote.
What I feel in life is, you want to make your own path and not follow everybody's coattails. If you can do somebody's product better, that's one thing, but to just copycat them is just not the way to go in life. Do your own thing and create a good quality product.
Yes.
Right. So even with us being an agency, I mean, there's a couple thousand agencies in the U.S., even in our own backyard in Seattle and everything, but we still try to do it our own way.
Absolutely.
Be unique, taking more of we pride ourselves on educating. So yeah, great thought. Q Image 4, our next one, by Tony Hsieh, the former founder and now retired CEO of Zappos. Stop chasing the money and start chasing the passion. So how does that resonate with you?
With me, basically, it's not always about the money. You can get paid more doing more things, but if you hate your job at the end of the day, it's just not worth doing anymore. So you want to find something that you're passionate about. You want to find something that you love, and you want to find something you enjoy. The first 10 years after the Army, I was doing something I didn't really enjoy. I mean, I enjoyed, but wasn't good for me. But now, I have a job that I love, and I can come home every day and it feels great.
Nice.
Awesome. And Joe, one of our favorite people we like to quote, skills are cheap, passion is priceless. Who's that from?
Gary V.
All right. So if
Gary
you're watching,
V, if you're listening or Gary V, let him know he needs to be on our show.
Awesome. So now we come to the segment of our podcast, Q Image 5, our CR Gutters Did You Know segment. So again, Q Image 6. So again, just a thank you to all veterans. The day that we're filming this is actually Veterans Day. Joe, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, being in the Army just taught me a lot of things. But I mean, to me, it made me grow up and be a man pretty quicker than I guess most 18-year-old
Right.
people. But just being proud.
Right. You served your country.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So Q Image 7. So just one did you know stat on veteran-owned businesses we shared from the last episode, but out of the 30 plus million businesses in the US, 2.52 million are majority owned by veterans. So again, veterans, when they leave the service, they contribute to the economy, creating jobs and everything.
A lot of times they learn that trade while they're in the service.
Correct.
And they want to continue that trade out.
Right. Or even it's not that trade, a skill set, Eric, that you mentioned, which we'll get into a little bit later. So now Q Image 8. So this is something that Eric shared with us and we'll get a thought. So about 90% of startups fail and 22.5% of small businesses fail within the first year. So pretty staggering stat. We support a lot of small businesses. What is your thought on that, Eric? Just the high failure rate.
It's inevitable when you're trying to bring something new on or start something new. A lot of people don't have a lot of planning at the beginning. They just jump into it. But it just goes to show you how passionate Americans can be when they're starting their own business up. Even you fail and you fail and you fail again and just keep going until you get what works, man. You got to find what works for you.
Right.
Fail forward.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, some of the greatest American businessmen, innovators, you listed some like Walt Disney, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, Henry Ford. I mean, these are monumental business people that didn't make it their first time and had to keep going. So again, that American spirit of kind of entrepreneurship carrying forward. Q Image 9. So we're not trying to be negative. We want to be positive and uplifting. So that's a negative kind of sobering stat. But just to show how passionate our business people are, our entrepreneurs are, 32% of small business owners don't have any form of business education. And 33% of those only have a high school education. So you talk about the hustle, the grind of that American spirit to like succeeding in business. What's your thought on that, Joe?
I mean, I see that happening more and more. I mean, I'm a believer that college isn't for everyone. But a lot of times people like even my son, he's like, Dad, I want to start a business. How do I go do it? He's 18 years old. He's got a couple ideas and he hasn't even graduated yet. But I just see that more and more is that young individuals would rather work for themselves than to work for someone else. And it ties into your quote about having the passion. People are now learning. They see like maybe their parents, they're unhappy with what they do. So they're like, I have this passion. I think I could turn this passion into a business.
Right. And Eric, any other thoughts on that?
Absolutely. It just goes to show you that, college is needed for some things, but there's a lot of, a third of America's out there just killing it, creating their own businesses and creating their own brand. So get out there, be passionate and do what you do best. Just promote yourself.
Awesome. Q Image 10. 62% of US billionaires are self-made. So, that's a pretty inspiring quote. I mean, not everyone's going to be a billionaire, but if you think 3 out of 5 people are self-made billionaires, as opposed they didn't step into it or didn't inherit it, shows what's possible. And I think also not just in the tech field, but there's a lot of different industries that you could become a billionaire. Do you have a quick thought on that, Eric?
Yeah, this new day and age, back in the day, you used to have to work hard for a company, then get promoted on up. And now you can just create this app or this brand or this new product and you can get, go viral and go big, so it's definitely a new world in the market of branding yourself and making your own business.
Awesome. So now we'll get to know you, the person, more, and I'll give Joe the pleasure of doing that. So Q Image 11. Joe, take it away to give a more formal introduction to our guest, Eric, today. And again, thanks for coming on today, Eric.
Absolutely.
So I actually met Eric, holy crap, many years ago. when we were stationed in Germany together. This is probably 1998 or 1999, I think.
Yep.
So he's a U.S. Army veteran. He's a search engine optimization analyst at Google, or was. He's now operations manager at a company called Second Skin Audio, which you could tell us about in a second. But their products have been featured on Motor Trend's TV shows like West Coast Customs and Graveyard Cars. So I'm curious to know, just for our audience, what does a search engine optimization analyst at Google do?
Gotcha. So I spent 2 years doing that. It was a great job. It was another work from home job. Basically, all those stories you hear about your phone spying on you are kind of true. Everything that you say to your phone or search on your phone is reviewed by somebody at Google. I can't go too in depth because I'm still under the non-disclosure agreement. But we basically just look through it, see the results you get. We get a list of the top 10 of what was supposed to be there, or what you actually seen. And then we go through them and see which one was the best. And if one of them should have been higher than the other, we rate that. Anytime we come across, illegal activity, bad stuff, we report agencies. The voice to text stuff, somebody reviews exactly what thought you said, and then basically gives you a thumbs up or a thumbs down whether Google got it right in the background. The safe search program through YouTube is run through the Google Analytics. It's a pretty cool job for somebody that's just getting out of college and wants to get some tech work in.
Nice.
Well, I saw the Netflix movie / documentary, Social Dilemma. So a lot of what you're saying, I mean, those guys were off their non-disclosure, but
yeah,
that holds true. So
I got 4 years till mine's up, and then I can start talking.
all right. Yeah. And on that movie, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm not plugging it, but gives a lot of information from not just entry-level people, but some heavyweights in the field that were in influential positions, that a lot of what you said rings true.
Another movie is The Creepy Line. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It goes into a little bit deeper about how they use AI to know what you're searching for and to make suggestions and all kinds of crazy stuff. But
yes.
So before we get into the questions, can you just tell our audience, how'd you get to Second Skin and what is Second Skin?
So basically, just got tired of my old job. I was a security guard for 10 years, and a night job and a day job. Just got tired of it all. So I got a part-time warehouse job at Second Skin. It was a warehouse here in Tucson. They sell Second Skin insulation made in the USA, heat insulation, sound insulation, stuff like that. We do cars, boats, airplanes, studios, all kinds of different stuff. Even rides at like Disney. The Tron ride has Second Skin on it. Basically quiet stuff down or stop the heat from getting through. And I started working at the warehouse, just packing boxes as a part-time job when I was a security guard. Then they found out I worked for Google, and they're like, "Oh, Lan, you want to come in here in the office and check out some stuff?" So from there, I basically expanded to starting all the social medias, the Instagram, the Twitter, expanding the YouTube, all kinds of stuff like that. And worked my way up to the operations office manager here, and work from home and run all the day-to-day shipping and orders and customer concerns, do the meetings with the guys for the shows and stuff like that. Pretty fun gig.
Nice.
So I'm curious, I know I'm going to jump ahead of myself real quick, but how does one move a company brand into TV shows? How do you build those connections?
So luckily for me, or for the company, the West Coast Customs connection was way back from 2004. That was the very first owner of the company. He started that connection. They love us, good friends with us. We've been part of a lot of builds since then. That was way back in the Pimp My Ride days.
Mm-hmm.
When I became part of the company, I didn't really know about it. I'd heard we were part of the Transformers movie and a couple other things like that too. And basically, somebody needs to quiet a car down, and they use products they have around them, and then they reach out to the experts and they get the actual products that'll work. So West Coast Customs has used our stuff for 16 years. Graveyard Cars had some issues with their previous supplier and reached out to us. We talked through there, negotiated with them. When I got to actually be on the show and install on the thing on $1 million vehicle, it was pretty crazy to think a kid from Iowa could do that. But it was kind of cool. And basically they just call you up and they're like, "Hey man, we got a spot in the show for you. You want to come on down and put your products in?" And we're like, "Heck yeah!" And we show up.
Nice,
awesome. You want to go to the first question, Joe?
Sure. So What are some lessons learned as an early entrepreneur, or in your case, what are some lessons learned as being in the military that you can carry over into business?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, mine's not entrepreneurship. I don't run the company. I don't own the company, but I do run the company. But basically from the military and, hard working from the Midwest, doing corn and doing the fields as a kid is just hard work. No matter how bad your day seems to be, you'll wake up tomorrow and get a new chance to make it better. Waking up early, getting stuff done before most people rise out of bed gives you the advantage to succeed. And always bring honor, integrity, and pride in your work and do it right the first time, and you will succeed.
Awesome. So what is the best piece of advice that you've been given?
It was actually some new advice I got about 2.5 years ago with the new owner of Second Skin. I used to do a lot of stuff in different markets and stuff and not value my time as much. And he told me one day, the most value asset we have is our time. And, if we can find somebody to do what we're trying to do faster and better, and we can pay them to do that, that's actually more valuable to us because that frees us up to do something that we're good at. So if I can get somebody that can code, like coding, I got a coder, we have a coder, we pay him to do what he does best so that we can it frees up our time to do what we do best.
Nice. So because you touched a little bit on hiring people. So one things we always come across is some people don't want to pay companies to do the marketing. So why is marketing so important for a business?
Marketing is huge for a business, especially in this day and age. It's always been known, the double mint gum commercial we always grew up knowing as a kid, the Rice Krispie Treats commercial. We all remember those gimmicks and those jingles. So you got to get that locked in. You got to keep your brand in front of the customer's name, keep your name in the customer's mouth. Because if you don't, you will get surpassed. In our industry, there's an industry leader that, they kind of rested on their laurels. And they're still kings of the hill and everything, but a lot of people are forgetting about the different things that they've done because they've just been not in the mouth so much. So marketing is definitely key. You want to get on top of all of your customer base's heads.
Is there a type of marketing that you feel best suits Second Skin?
So
works the most?
We're killing it in the SEO marketing. We're also killing it on Instagram. We are the #1 sound deadening brand for Instagram as far as exposure. People are using all my hashtags. All my competitors are using my hashtags to promote themselves. We've been on there the longest and we have the biggest following. So Instagram and SEO marketing.
Nice.
Awesome. So Q Image 12. So kind of what we want to talk about is growing your business during the pandemic. So obviously there's and we'll get into it. People's behaviors have changed with what they do online or almost what they don't do online because everything is pretty much online. There's a quote you shared that we'll kind of kick it off with. So Kevin O'Leary, the pandemic has advanced marketing by 5 years. So our audience is made up of small, medium-sized businesses, probably more on the smaller, the entrepreneur side. But when you say that the pandemic has advanced it 5 years, what's a thought that every business owner out there could take from why that was important to you?
So I already knew that the digital marketing was picking up during the pandemic because everybody's at home. So the meetings, the shows, you see them at the grocery store, that stuff ain't selling your products anymore. You have to get them and you have limited time to get them because the attention span of America is very small. And when I found that, Kevin, I follow the Shark Tank guys and girls a lot. They're great, smart people, very helpful people also. So when I found that fact through him, I'm like, wow, that I already knew it was huge, but I didn't know it was that huge. And it's so huge that he's doing 60-second commercials from his home in his business suit. So if a billionaire is taking that time to make a 60-second commercial for a brand he loves and sells, it's very important that we should be doing that too.
Nice. So with how everyone is shopping online, one thing you mentioned was, or we want to know, how has the pandemic transformed online shopping?
Online shopping is just been huge. I can't speak for every aspect and every product out there, but our numbers are the biggest we've had in a long time. The online shopping, people are sitting at home bored. They want to get out of their house and do something. So they're going to their garage doing projects. They're going to their backyard doing projects. And people are just trusting the online system much more now because of this pandemic. It's kind of a forced trust because there's a lot of people that are at risk or don't want to get sick. So So they're not leaving their house and they're just getting everything sent home.
Yeah, I know people who get their toothpaste and toothbrush and pretty much toilet. I mean, anything you could possibly need, you can have shipped to your house.
I'm actually hooked on that new at home chef. They send they send me the food. It's I got all the ingredients, got the instructions, and my new spare time, I'm becoming a chef. So it's definitely that's something they've got me marketed on. I ordered one time and I've been hooked for 7 months now.
Well, I would say too, just from being at home, because a lot of our clients are home service clients. Now that people are home, more problems are exposed because you're not leaving, 7 to 6 and you come back, you prepare dinner. You're at home. The work from home people are at home all the time. So we've seen our clients from pest control, septic, plumbing, roofing, like those problems are exposed. People aren't taking vacations, so they invest in the home. If they're at home, even some of our landscapers, outdoor projects are getting done because if you're going to be home, you're going to do that. I mean, for me, when you said like you ordered the food stuff and everything, my Prime Day purchases, I splurge on a couple things, but I like doing stuff at home now. I like making drinks or cocktails at home. So I nerd out on those kind of things. So I could see how everyone's pattern of behavior, even down to my kids, like, oh, can we get this delivered to us? It's like not going out, but like brought to you. And my fear is, especially for the next generation, I have kids that are 15, 13, and 7, that I don't want them to become too reliant on, hey, just click a button or ask Alexa to get something, and then boom, here it is. That's what I'm afraid of. So
that's a big worry of mine also. Yeah, most definitely.
So we talked about like working from home. A big portion of the population is working from home, but how has that changed like workplace health? Just workplace health. Because I know like mental health of people being from home, you don't have the socialization aspect. If you're not going out, you're not going out. You're not going on vacation. So what's your thought on that the workplace health issue?
Absolutely. This is a huge issue. That was the first thing that kind of hit me. Americans are getting much more unhealthy working from home because they're just stuck at home, and then don't have any outlets. Some are adapting to home gyms, doing meetups, and are meditating. But even I had a little blow of what they call us like seasonal depression, I guess you'd call it. After those first 2 months of being locked down, I was just like, I've got to get out of my house. My gym was locked down for 3 months, so I didn't have that escape anymore. Here in Arizona, they locked down the trails, so I couldn't go hiking. I couldn't even go hiking. It was nuts. So it's definitely the health of the human is can be hindered here in the work from home. So the first thing I would do is get your employees on a schedule to work out. The owner of Second Skin actually gave us few hours a week where we can actually stay on the clock and go get outside and get healthy, and then come back to work and we're a lot more happier and healthier. And you don't want to be sitting around. You're going to cause back problems and heart problems and circulation issues. You just got to get out there. And, because you don't have that commute to work anymore, you have nothing. You wake up, you get out of your bed, take a shower, and walk into your office.
So with being work from home, what are some, maybe in your eyes, what are some good distractions of working from home?
My biggest distraction is my puppies. They're all over our Instagram, for Second Skin. Sadie and Oliver, man, having them be able to come up and lick me during work and cuddle me is pretty cool feeling, so that's the biggest one.
Have you noticed that? I mean, this is something that we've noticed, is that when you include a dog in a picture for let's say the About Us page on a website, that actually gets more people to like your page or follow you because they want to interact with you. Have you found that by using your dogs in your videos and pictures that has helped you guys?
Absolutely. I've actually got garages and dealers to become dealers just because they love my puppies. We actually have a customer who's a huge, he's the shipping rep for Tito's Vodka. And he actually drove all the way to Tucson. They were coming here anyway for a vacation, but they stopped out of their way and went to the shop just to meet my puppies. They didn't want to meet us or anything. It was just to meet the puppies.
Sometimes that's all it takes. People pets are far more relatable than people are. Like there's not like a bad pet and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It always helps. I mean, we've seen that too in some of the marketing some of our clients have done.
Yeah, like one of our sponsors, CR Gutters, they actually took a video of their dogs feeding. The puppies were feeding, so it just said like, "This is what happens when you allow inner office relationships." Boom,
Oh,
had like 1,200 likes,
cute.
a couple new customers from people they've never met just because of a video of the mother feeding the dogs.
Yep.
That's simple, right?
Simple.
Right.
Very simple.
Yeah. So Joe, do you have a good distraction when you work from home?
Well, I have a dog too. She sits underneath my feet as well. So, I mean, that's my distraction. She's always pawing at me. She always wants treats. She always wants to throw the toy around. So, I mean, that's my distraction.
Yeah. I mean, mine is, like the 3 kids are good and bad. Playing the homeschool dad is tough at times, but then go outside and, throw baseball, football around or get on a bike is like a good distraction with your kids during the middle of the day. So,
Yeah.
Question I have, one of our last questions is getting back to the business side of things. So why do you think businesses like to chase revenue instead of profits? You had an intriguing answer and I'll let you kind of share it and we'll give our thought too. So
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know the exact answer to this, but I think it has something to do with bigger is better syndrome. Everybody has to have the bigger truck and the bigger car and the bigger rims and everything. That's you got the bigger wallet, I guess. Telling your buddies you sold 5 million last year sounds cooler than saying you profited 700,000. I always have been one to follow the profit, not the sales. It started back when I managed the gas station back home during college. I had to keep the profit store profitable so the investors were happy. And then with Second Skin, I've always had to try to keep the cost of shipping, boxing, workforce low to maximize profits because a lot of our competitors are bigger than us. So they have a lot more buying power, marketing power. And to make up for that, we got to maximize our profits. On digital marketing, it can be tricky. A lot of marketing firms will have you believe if you dump a ton of money into click ads, you'll be successful. And a lot of businesses give these agencies full control with not checking back on them. But as the business owner or operator, you have to make sure you are seeing increases that double or triple the amount you are spending. A lot of these agencies will get you breaking even. So although your sales went up $200,000 last year, you actually spent $180,000 to get it. So this is you didn't really make that much money. We actually had that problem with Amazon. One of those Amazon experts in 2017. We reached out there to try to get bigger on Amazon because we kind of at a plateau. And this gentleman was doing some things, and they just weren't getting any extra revenue. Like the same amount I was paying him was the increase in sales. So you got to make sure everything you're doing is working.
You touch base on Amazon. How easy it is for a small business owner to get going to sell their products on Amazon? Is that something that they can do themselves, or is that something they need to hire someone for?
So the very first year I took hold of that position here in the company, we were selling only a couple thousand a month on Amazon, and I grew it to a nice chunk. I probably raised it probably 20% just in the first year. So it's definitely an area you can get a small business growing easy and fast, but then you will hit a wall where your competitors will start noticing you, and then they'll start buying ad space in front of your products to knock you back down. So that's where that plateau comes, where you've got to get some expert advice from somebody that knows how to get past that and then start getting on top of the ads again.
awesome. So you're a proponent when you going back to the marketing of like being aggressive, using a lot of different things, kind of staying ahead of the curve. You mentioned earlier that there were some competitors you're fighting against. Q Image 13. I just wanted to share a post that we posted a little bit ago and then get Joe's thought, and then it may be Eric too. But don't be afraid to be aggressive with your marketing. Sometimes it's about knocking out the competition. So it's one of our boldest things that we've made, but particularly with like SEO. Eric mentioned SEO. Joe, what makes us different on the SEO side?
The biggest thing is exclusivity. So we don't believe in working with everybody. We don't want to work with everybody, which is odd for a marketing company to say. Heck, we don't really even do much marketing our own. But we work with one company per industry, per area. There's only 10 spots on the first page. If you work with everybody, you can't help everybody. If you work with everybody, there's no way you're going to get everyone to the top spots. Right.
But we do try to help everyone. So Q Image 1, again, with our Valor Cares promotion, just one last quick plug on that, Joe.
Yep. If you don't have a website or don't have access to a website, now is the time to get one. Feel free to go to our website, valormarketingllc.com/Valor Cares. Fill out your information and you'll be put, I guess, in the drawing, if you want to say drawing, and a committee of people will see what business.
Right.
It's a free site.
We're going to share our latest winner, a veteran-owned business that we're going to do this month. So stay tuned for those details. Last plug, and then we get one last thought from Eric before we close out the podcast. But Q Image 2. So our webinar with Google, officially sponsored by Google and us, using YouTube to grow your business. One last quick share the details with our audience, please.
Sure. Next week, Wednesday, November 18th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. There is, if you go to our social media on Facebook for Valor Marketing LLC, there's an events. You can go to register. It's free. We just love putting on these free workshops and giving as much free information as we can to businesses so that they can make better decisions for their business.
Awesome. And then last image, image 14. Again, Eric, thanks for joining. Since it's Veterans Day, the actual day we're filming this, but we've dedicated this whole month of November for honoring veteran-owned small businesses. Yep. We pride ourselves in serving that. Any last thought? No,
I'm just very appreciative that Eric was able to jump on this whole thing of having him on as a podcast. I remember that he worked at Google, and I'm like, oh, we got to maybe get him on here to pick his brain. Maybe that'll be another show, but just thanks for jumping on and thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you for having me on here. I appreciate that. The spotlight to the veteran-ran businesses and owned businesses. Keep doing the good work out there and supporting all of our veterans and all the rest of Americans out there trying to get their business started, because that's the American dream, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Amen to that. So,
yeah. Amen.
Again, thank you to our sponsors, CR Gutters and Advanced Septic Services. My name is Galen.
I'm Joe.
We're coming at you from the BD Local Studios in Tacoma, Washington. Again, thanks to Eric from Second Skin. And see you guys soon. Thank you, guys.
Peace.